Okay, this is it. Ball siphon here. Little pump. It pumps water into what is going to be my grow bed once I get a little bit more grow media, in which what I choose is expanded shale. It's fun. Yeah, so it's kind of a cool little item here. This is just a bell that hangs over a little pipe that runs down through the thing, and it runs right into the tank. Now, as you can see, the water coming out here is definitely, it's not coming out as fast as the water coming out here, and that is because it is literally sucking the water down and up and through here. It's a pretty cool item. I made this little screen, media screen, from just like a storm drain pipe, and then I drilled tiny little holes all around it to keep the media out, but to still let water in. Yeah, it should work really well. I also, okay, so if you do choose, like expanded shale, if you want, you have to wash it out because it'll make the water very, very murky, like brown. Like, it'll make the water brown, and it's essentially tiny little shards of expanded shale floating around, and that could actually really wreak havoc on the fish's lungs. So I didn't want to do that, so I rinsed it out thoroughly. And how I did that is I just filled this bowl full of water, and then I used a strainer to I poured the media in the strainer, rinsed it out, and let the water drain into the bowl. And when the bowl was full, I just dumped that out and then redid the process over and over again. So if you wanted to use like maybe another kind of grow media, say let's say what do we have? You could use clay pellets, or otherwise known as leca pellets. Those are a lot lighter, and they allow a lot more water to run through the gaps in between the little pellets. And that's why I'm going to use a combination of this and leca, because it seems like it's going to be a perfect combination for roots and water drainage and all that. Yeah, so it's all running well. Every once in a while you have to wipe all of this out, or else it'll clog up your bell siphon. So yeah, it's fun. I'm gonna build a little cap for this so that nothing accidentally falls in here and stops the bell siphon from working. And if the bell siphon stops working, the falling water will stop, and the fish won't get aerated water. Like, you see those bubbles coming up? It's actually this is pushing little microscopic amounts of oxygen into the water, in which fish gain through their gills. So yeah, if your pump stops, your fish will die because they will suffocate from lack of aerated water. If your bell siphon stops working, your fish will die due to a lack of aerated water. And yeah, those are the two things that you need to be very careful of. And this should stop pretty soon. As you can see, it's kind of It's kind of draining away there. It's pretty far down, but it's still sucking water up and over the standpipe. It's still draining. And every once in a while, you also have to clean, you know, the pump, just to make sure it isn't like gummed up and no like debris has gotten in the way, so it can't pump water, because that could stop the bell siphon from initiating. You also another thing about media is you want to have good enough drainage. Like I said, leca pellets probably provide the best drainage. These provide a decent amount of drainage, but if you use something like sand or gravel, the gaps in between the individual pieces of rock, it won't be enough to actually drain this thoroughly, and the bell siphon won't initiate, and it will just flow over the edge. So, yeah, should just gurgle pretty soon. I'll make a weird bubbling noise. Like, yeah, that. It is that. And like that, still gurgling. And there we go. That's it. That is it. That is it. It is stopped. No more water coming out here. And the grow bed will fill all the way back up and then drain all the way back down again. Perfect. Did exactly what I wanted it to do. Worked perfectly. Okay, so this is my aquaponic garden. I'm going to be putting strawberry plants in here maybe within the next 2 days. Yeah, it's going to be fun. One more suggestion. I made a mistake on where I actually put this. I should have put it over here where it wasn't like taking up all this grow space, which I could have used. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say. What I used for the bell siphon was just a little bottle with cutouts at the bottom. I just used a regular knife, standpipe, just PVC pipe. There's water drains out of, as you can see, and then I used a little rubber seal at the bottom of it. So yeah, that's how my aquaponic garden works. Fairly fast process due to the lack of space, but that's kind of what I wanted. That's what I wanted to go for. So yeah, there it goes.